Friday again. It's not too revealing, is it? Let's button it so it's not so revealing. Is it in all the way? I guess so. All right. Let's do it to it.
Are you just trying to navigate adulthood in a world that still expects you to have it all figured out? Welcome to This Is 50 with your host, Travis Holmes.
Look. Oh. There we go. I forgot what button to hit. Look, I know I'm an asshole. I know I'm an asshole sometimes. Sometimes I'm an asshole. I switched the camera angles here if you're watching this on the YouTube channel. But sometimes you have to be an asshole to get your point across. And when I say my point across, the infamous Walmart. I know I always talk about Walmart. This is my world. My world is here at the house on the property and stuff, and going to the local feed store and going to Walmart and getting our daily stuff. I barely leave this property, which is a good thing probably for the human race out there. But there is a stop sign, and I say a stop sign. A lot of you might not know this, that when stop signs are on private property like Walmart or anything like that, technically you don't have to pay attention to them. I know. They're here. Everyone's rolling their eyes like, oh God, where's this asshole going? No, I mean, you don't have to, but I will. I mean, it's a safety thing. But there is one stop sign that, and well, first of all, let me backtrack a little bit. Because you're going to say, Travis, well, why are they there? You know, cops can write your ticket. It's a stop sign. No, if you look at the back of stop signs that are actually federal or state regulated, they have stamps on the back of them. And when I say stamps, they have to go around. It's like doing a quality control check. Yep, it's still visible. It's still at the same height. It's at this level. And there's a thing like a punch card on the back. Like when they look at the gas pumps and stuff, there's a check, oh, this has been certified that, what's his name's come by and this meets the standards. The stop signs on private property, whether it be Home Depot, Target, a mall, anything like that, those stop signs don't have those there. And 9 times out of 10, they're not at the right height. They're not at the right, so if you get into a car accident, technically, legally, whoever ran the stop sign, it's not their fault because it's not, you don't have to pay attention to those stop signs. Now everyone's going to be ramming in each other. I'm going to get a list of phone calls over at the Facebook page over at This Is 50 on Facebook. This is what happened to me because you said I didn't have to pay attention to stop signs. But there's this one stop sign. I mean, it is bad. It's out in the middle of the sun. It is faded. You can barely, other than the shape of the actual sign itself, it is faded. You can barely read it. And it's at a crucial intersection. So I fly through it every time. Every time. My wife hates it. What are you doing? But I make sure there's no other cars coming or anything like that. It's kind of like a 3-way stop. So front traffic in front of you, and then there's a side traffic, and then that on the right-hand side, depending on how you're approaching it. This guy today... Just, if you could have seen his face. So I come off the light and I turn into the Walmart, runway to get into the parking lot. And then you have to take a left. And then this is where I come up to this ill-fated stop sign. And there's nobody around, but there's a car coming toward me. He's got a brand new stop sign over there because someone hits it or something. They got to put a new one up there. I don't blow through mine. It's, what do they call it? The police say a rolling stop. I kind of do this rolling stop. Well, this jackhole... He doesn't have his turn signal on, and he's going to make a left in front of me. And he rolls down. He's got a, listen to this guy. You know the guy who I'm talking about. He's probably, now I'm 51. He's probably 64, 65, gray goatee, just like me. So we're still in the same era, that Gen X era. Short gray hair as to my luscious hair that's not even turning gray, except for right here where my headphones are. And my beard's completely gray, except for my mustache. It's weird. I'm a weird source. My hair's not thinning or anything. It's always been this way. Lush. Fabio asked me for my tips. And he's got glasses on. I don't wear glasses. He's wearing glasses, so he's got a couple strikes against him. And he's driving a 2006 Toyota 4Runner with big tires on it. Not big tires, but, enough to bump it up a little bit so he doesn't look like a complete fag, complete pussy. So he takes a left in front of me and then hits his brakes because I kind of roll through the stop sign. He rolls his window down. That's a stop sign. And I look at him. I'm looking at you on the camera here. I kind of look at him like this. He goes, that's a stop sign. I go, no, it's not. His eyes went, no one's ever said that to me before. And so I pull into the parking lot and I sit there for a little bit because I'm watching him in my rearview mirror to see if he's going to circle around and pull up next to me and, whip out his little 22 millimeter gun and start banging on my window and threatening me. I mean, it's not that it's this type of town, but, we're out in the middle of nowhere. Everyone's got a pistol on them for the most part. They just arrested a guy the other day at Walmart down the street from the Walmart that I go to. We had full fatigues on, and he was coming from a shooting gallery or something, and everyone freaked out on that. But that's a stop sign. No, it's not. And I'll take a picture and post it on the This Is 50 Facebook. That is not a stop sign. If you were to hit me, buddy, you would be in the wrong. You would be in the wrong after, you smashed into me because this stop sign is not regulated. I know. I'm an asshole, but I'm just waiting for some kid, someone fly through that thing and cause a whole heap of mess, banging around and children get hurt. And there's a homeless guy with a sign standing there too. Go ahead and take him with you. My wife loves to watch Big Brother. I never was really into the whole, what was that, reality TV thing? I fell off around, what was the one on MTV? The Real World? Yeah. And then that whole thing where David pulled the one black girl across a big scene. If you don't know what the Real World is, you've heard of this story. And she said, I was raped and you exposed me and blah, 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 blah. She was part of the whole thing. And then she realized that it was all caught on camera and she, went backwards on what she was doing and got him in a whole lot of trouble and so on and so forth. And I just said, I'm not watching this shit anymore. There you go. I'm not watching this. But that's kind of where I fell off of the reality TV show stuff. And then meeting my wife, and she digs it. God, her brain just soaks up all that reality. Even today, she watches that Real Housewives of insert, name here. She was watching Real Housewives of Tuscany, Oklahoma, or wherever. I'm like going, really? All right, Salt Lake City. Guess it's a big town for crabby, cackly women. And I always go, well, who are they? Because they're always someone's wife. Oh, she's the wife of the guy who invented the processing plant that dives out sugar and wheat. Oh, all right, okay. Oh, and his wife or her husband is some kind of attorney. Never heard of him, and so on and so forth. But we watch Big Brother because I like to watch the games. I could care less about the drama. I literally just, my brain clicks off when they start doing the drama. Oh, we need to get back around here. And did you hear what they said about this? If you haven't seen Big Brother, it's a fun show. But I just like watching the challenges. I just want to see them make a fool of themselves and, all right, root for the underdog always and so on. But it's this whole social game that they play on Big Brother, which is fine. I mean, I understand that. But my wife goes, at the end of the last couple seasons, Julie Chen comes out with her raping husband. Well, he was acquitted, but says, audition now for next summer's Big Brother. And she's always, babe, Trav, you gotta go do that. I said, are you for real? Do you understand that I am a complete asshole and I'm very judgmental and I'm very this and I'm very that? And she goes, yeah, but you would cause so much trauma and so much, not trauma, drama for your mama. And I would go, yes, I know. Babe, I would be the first one thrown out. She's like, no, you'd be a likable guy for a good, I don't know. We've been doing this episode or this the show for how many? For 1 year now? Or starting our second year? Have I lost any of you guys because of the way I think and the way I talk? Or you guys haven't gotten used to my train of thought yet? But that's fine. It's okay. Like I said, I do this to help people get through this time in their life when they really don't have much going on, or they need someone to kind of think the same way, or just a different vision of thinking the same way. I try to make it not as commercial as possible. Try to keep out outside advertisers and things like that. Just me and you and a microphone and a headset. Just me and you talking and just trying to get things done. But still, she was like going, well, you should try out. I go, yeah, I can see it now. You want to be canceled. You want me to be canceled. I'll get on that show and I'll say one thing. Like the one guy this past season, he said, hell yeah, my nigga. Yeah, there you go. And he turned around and the black dude was sitting there. And he's like, oh, man, I didn't mean to say that. And he's like, dude was like, yeah, that's cool. No, man, it's no problem. I understand you get a little excited. I'd be the same way. But then the host, the powers that be, the producers and stuff, called that guy in. Man, he was chopped from the whole entire season. There was no B-roll clips of him anymore. They basically took an eraser pen and erased him out of every previous episodes. And even the opening credits, he's not even part of the opening credits anymore. It was a big ordeal. Do they say, I mean, they do have a right to say you're not allowed to say certain things or do certain things in the show. And he's crossed the line. And I'm like going, not that is a normal vocabulary word for me, but it's if it's in a rap song, I'm going to say it. But I'm sitting there going, am I going to be canceled? Am I going to slip or say something because I'm very judgmental? My wife always says that. You're very judgmental. I am judgmental. I will judge a person because I'm better. I feel like I think I've got a lot more noodle in my oblongata. I don't have a vocabulary, but I've got a little bit more common sense, social sense for the most part, as far as what's going on out there. All right, when we come back, I'm gonna take a little break. I stole my dad's sauce. I got tired of looking at it, so I'll dive into that when we come back. So in this studio that we have up here, I broadcast 4 other shows. Yep, right here, right out of this location. It's a great studio. It's 800 square feet. It's finished out, AC, wall, lighting, electrical, of course, AC. Real nice setup that they have here that they allow me to speak and do the show out of this studio. But one of the things that it's not good at is keeping bugs out. And when I say keeping bugs out, here in the Charlotte area in North Carolina, because that's where we broadcast out of, we do the show every Friday about 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock today. I was running behind because I ran through a stop sign. But stink bugs. I'm from Orlando, Florida, was born and raised, born in 1973, right by the Florida Mall area before they put Universal Studios in, duh. And Disney World, I think was, I think they started in 68 or something like that. So we didn't have stink bugs. You heard about them, but we didn't have any stink bugs. Jesus Christ, up here in Carolinas, we've got stink bugs all the time. And what you're like going, well, what's a stink bug? Stink bug, if you kill it, smash it, whatever, it stinks. That's what it is. That's how it got its name. And it looks like a hard shell type beetle that flies around. And its body looks like a shield. If you ever seen like a shield, crest of arms type shield, that's what the body looks like when you're looking at it from above. The reason why I don't like them is because they fly around. They sound like a bee. Their wings will go zoom, zoom. And you probably, if you watch past shows here from This Is 50, you probably see me jerk my head around because one's flown around the room. And it freaks you out, man. That thing comes at you like a TIE fighter. Get ready to go down and drop those wombat shooters. So when they land on the desk here, they kind of land, and then they kind of creepy crawl. And I look at him, I'm like, if I don't kill this guy, he's going to come in and land in my face. So because I've got all this, you can't see from the camera down. Of course, you can't see what's down here. I've got a huge mixing board right here. I got my amp and stuff that runs the show. I've got my keyboard right here. Got the computer and stuff all down here. All my cameras. There's like 6 other cameras here because of the other shows that we do. And then I got my libations. So if I start swinging around like a fly swatter, I'm going to knock shit over. So what do? This guy. And up until this year, I really didn't think about, and if you're looking at it, it's a lighter, one of those long butane lighters, Kingsford lighter. Up until this year, I really didn't think about, it wasn't nothing for me to burn one. But now I look at them and I take my lighter, and this has just happened recently too, not just necessarily stink bugs, but just like bugs in general. I think to myself, I'm getting ready to snuff this creature's life out. Growing up, teenager, kids, whatever. I always had, a girl or girlfriend or something like that. If there's a bug or something, boys will be boys. They just want to kill it. Kill it. Dead. You always had that one girl. No, don't kill it. That's God's creature. Kind of look at them and go, all right, God's creature. All right, I got it. God's creature. It's still an annoyance. It's still whatever. Boom, I'm going to snuff its life out. But the older that I get, I realize that not that I'm playing God, but I look at it and I go, well, what's to say that this is not happening to me the older I get? Whether you believe in a God or whatever like that, you always think is when is he going to take the lighter and burn your legs off and burn your head? Because when you burn them, I get them off. There's little burnt spots here on the desk. I got to fix those. But when you burn them right in their face. They had no idea it was coming, and they curl up and they flip over, and then I get a little vacuum and I kind of vacuum them up here. But then I go, I'm like, man, did I really need to kill him? And I'm looking at, I got like a little dead body right there. I'm looking at, and then you just kind of go, well, you take life for granted. And I'm looking at that thing and I'm like going, he had no idea that when he came into this room that I was going to set him on fire, because he was probably flying up, around this studio all day long. Hey, look at me. Wee! I'm having fun. I'm going to land over here. I'm going to land over there. Hey, who's this guy? He looks cool. I'm going to fly around him over here. Hey, guy, I'm going to land right in front of your keyboard. How you doing, new friend? Why? I know. Go on, big brother, they said. But I mean, it's one of those thoughts that I have in the back of my mind. I'm like, and then I kind of scoop them up in one of my empty beer cans and kind of swish them around a little bit and put them on the ground. That's it. His life is done. So it's the older I get, the more and more I look at that. Even like, not up here in the studio, just in general, I see bugs a little bit different now. Some of you are going, what are you doing, fucking queer? Kill them bastards. Some of them are like, no, don't kill the bastard. It's God's creatures. Well, all right. I can't please everybody, so I'm going to throw the ball right down the center lane there, and hopefully it'll hit some pins and we can all land in the gutter somehow. When we come back, I went for a job interview, and I'm going to talk about my dad's barbecue sauce here in a minute. So stick around. I'll be right back. I talked to Matt the other day, and you're like, well, who's Matt? Who's Matt? Come on. If you listen to the past couple shows, if you rewind a little bit, you'll hear Matt was on the show here for a while. I had some issues that he had to deal with. He's taken it upon himself as a grown man should take responsibility for your actions. And he realized something that this show brought out of him. So I applaud him for that. He's doing what he needs to do to survive and get through life and do the things that improve his life. So he's doing well. He's doing well. So if you need, he's got a voice acting. I say voice acting. He does voiceovers because he's got that voice. He's got that real sultry, deep, coming up after dark, Matt Cochran. So he sent me a link here. I'll post it on the Facebook page. So if you want to see that link, if you want Matt Cochran to do, and he's doing great, man. He's doing really good. He's knocking out of the park. Very, very professional type stuff. So if you need some voiceover work done, it's very interesting, and you can see his link and check him out. I'll put it on the This Is 50 Facebook page, so check him out over there. And I was supposed to call Shane today. Shane's the one that started the show with me. Again, kind of not the same scenario, but the scenario where life just got in the way and he just couldn't get away from his responsibilities. So I'm gonna call him after the show and get an update on him, find out what's going on with his daughter and his grandfather. That they're both struggling with health issues right now. So we wish them both luck. I gave my dad let's go back this way. I don't like stuff going to waste, food-wise. I don't know where I get it from. If my wife will not eat something, I will make sure, like leftovers and stuff. Babe, there's leftovers. I can't eat another day of that. I will sit there. I eat to survive. I don't eat, as you can tell. Yep. Put on a couple more pounds, a little chunky right there in the cheek area. I think I'm floating around 274. I know. Fucking 10 pounds. Jesus Christ. I'll tell you it's 10 pounds, and you'll have to believe me. But I will eat to make sure that everything gets done. And I hate throwing away stuff. I buy my wife when I go grocery shopping. I go to Walmart and I blow through the stop sign. I have a list. Give me strawberries. Get me grapes. I'm gonna blueberries. I'm gonna make my breakfast and I'm gonna chop up the strawberries and I'm gonna have a little snack bag because she has to now work in Charlotte, which is an hour away, which means it takes her an hour to get ready and then an hour drive. So she's got to get up 2 hours before she has to physically be sitting at her desk because she's got a call at 8 o'clock in the morning. And I'm not getting up early to cook breakfast for her. I used to, but not anymore. It's too early. So she did that for like a day. And so strawberries went bad. Everything was bad. Threw those away. But thank God, that we have chickens, so we throw the strawberries out for the chickens. But I was like, God damn, it's a whole fucking, it was like a 2-pint thing of strawberries. I was like, fuck. So when we went to Florida, on the way back, we stopped at Buc-ee's. And I told you the whole story about Buc-ee's. And when we got our sandwiches and stuff, you were allowed one of those little plastic, it's about the size of a thimble with a little plastic cap on it of barbecue sauce. And I said, here, Dad, here's some samples of barbecue sauce for your chicken that you make now out of the air fryer, which I taught him how to do. Okay, thank you. So I go in there the other day and I'm making, and when did I get back from Florida? 3 weeks ago? 2 weeks ago? I don't know. Time's a blur. It's been a while, though. I look and they're still in there. And I see that he's bought just a thing of sugar-free barbecue sauce. I said, well, shit, Dad, if you're not going to eat this stuff, if you're not going to use it, I will use it on my sandwich today. Go ahead. Fucking used it. It just drives me nuts that instead of going, hey, there's barbecue sauce in there, put this guy on Big Brother, he would be a hit, wouldn't he? I know. So I stole his, I Indian gave him. Oh, shut up. I'm allowed to say that. I'm part Cherokee. Believe me. If you see my grandmother, my dad's mom, yeah, full on Cherokee. And I don't know where my grandfather's from. Baton Rouge, because I couldn't understand either one of them. I have a little bit of free time coming up. And I say free time coming up. I do 3 different shows out of this location. I do a show on Monday. If you're watching this on the YouTube channel, all those shows behind me, I host those shows. I do a show on Monday, I do a show on Wednesday, and I do this show on Friday. And they're all different topics, all different genres, and all different forums. But some days I'm done and everything out of the studio by 2, 3 o'clock sometimes. So I got the whole day left over to do stuff. And like I said, I don't get out of the house. So I said, well, you know what? Maybe I'll get a little part-time job doing something. I don't know. Let's see what's out there. I haven't had a 9-to-5 job in a long time. So I applied at this one production company or promotions company or something like that. I'm like, I can fucking do promotions. I got you guys listening, right? All 3 of you, right? Hey, we love you, Travis. And then I burn you. Ah, why? No. So I said, you know what? I haven't done a resume in a long time. So I'm typing up my resume. I'm typing up, job, time. I'm typing here. I'll type there. And I literally had to sit down and go, okay, when's the last time I had a 9-to-5 job? And then I'm trying to fill the gaps because you don't want any gaps in your history record. And I'm typing all this stuff up. And then what I did, because I'm smart, is I took that whole entire resume and chunked it over the chat GPT. And I said, make this sound good. Enter. I said, that looks good. It filled in like my job description, which is like, I just put like I think my last job was working for Home Depot or something like that. I think Home Depot, I put that in there and it listed everything. I guess it went back to the job title that I put up there, and it just grabbed from their website and just put in what my duties were, filled out the whole entire thing for me. And then all the radio stuff and all the promotion stuff I've done there as a secondary job. Sent it in within 24 hours. Hey, we'd like to have an interview with you. Great. I can do that. I can be, I think it was a customer service, customer clientele representative or something like that. I was doing something. I don't know what I was doing. So I look online to get a little background. I'm like, all right, this kind of looks kind of cool. I can do this. Kind of schmooze some people over. I think it was going to pay maybe, I don't know, $50,000 a year. That's fine. I can do that. Do that standing on my head. So I show up, and it's literally from my house 57 minutes away. 45 miles, 57 minutes away. And I'm like, oh, man, fucking drive. Jesus. For $50,000 a year? Let's see what they got to offer. Maybe the hours will be all right. So I show up, and it's a business strip mall type area, where it's like all these, almost like an apartment complex type thing, where all these buildings are like diamond shaped, and you're like, oh, that's building 310, and that's building 311, but I need suite 110 at 311 and not at 310. And you're like driving around all these buildings, and they're all like, there's no order to them. So find a parking spot. I go up, open the door. The place is probably maybe 2,300 square feet, kind of narrow, kind of long. Receptionist in the front, a wall, and you kind of walk back there to the other offices where it's like bing, 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 little cubicles. So I walk in there, and the thing goes ding, dong, someone's at the front door or walking in the building. This kid, and I say kid, and I use this term very, very densely. He was probably 22, 23 years old. If you were to tell me he was in his 30s, I'd laugh your ass off. Actually, I did laugh at him anyways. Comes up. Now, Spanish, Latin, dark-skinned guy. He wasn't black. He wasn't straight up Spanish. He was like in between. Spoke perfect English, because that's important. And he had a little overdress, let me just say. I went there with a button-up, a nice button-up collared T-shirt. Now, like, I could put a tie on it if I wanted to, because it's got the other buttons on the collar to keep the collar from flipping up. Short sleeve. Are they, I don't want to call them executive jeans, but they're not like a Levi jean. They are a executive jeans is all I'm going to say. And then I have a pair of Bruno Malleys that I wear all the time. I'm very proud of those. I bought those, I think, one of my first or second years working on radio. If you know what Bruno Malleys are, look them up. So I walk in, and I'll be right there. He's in the back room. Comes out, hey, how you doing? And I look at him. And I just went, okay, this is going to be different. I'm going to take a quick little break, and then I'll tell you that story when we come back. So stick around. On our back porch, on our house here, we have a huge back porch. Huge, beautiful. It's never been trampled. It's never been anything. Put him on Big Brother. My dad sits out there to get out of his little dungeon that I make him live in. He's got it pretty good back there. But he comes out on the back porch. We have like rocking chairs, and we have a nice swing that hangs from the back porch. And he sits in his heated softball coach chair out there. And we have a flight of stairs that comes down into a lower deck. And we got those sun sails that kind of cover it to block out the sun. He goes, you know what you need? You know what you need? What? You need one of those saunas. Sauna? Yeah, you fill it up with water and you sit in it and you just relax. I go, you mean hot tub? Well, isn't it the same thing? No, it's not the same thing. Sauna is a thing with hot rocks in it, and you steam yourself to death. And then a hot tub is basically what it is. A big cesspool of water and your body fluids in it. Well, yeah, you need to get that. I said, no, I don't, Dad. Why not? You know, all the work and stuff you do around the property, you for your aching back, I know your back's not doing good. Dad, I can't because I'll die. What? I said, Dad, people with diabetes, which I don't have, people with a heart condition, I'm not there yet. People who take high blood pressure medicine, which I do, and then there's a couple other stipulations, should not go into a hot tub. I've never heard that. Well, up until the other day, you never heard of Bucky's barbecue sauce, but here we are, spreading it on my sandwich. I don't know what it does, but I remember as a teenage high schooler, fresh into college, going to like the Daytona Beach hotels. And the hot tub said anyone that's taking certain medications and stuff should not get into the hot tub. And I didn't really think about it at the time. I was like, going, well, I don't know. What kind of medications would you take that would eliminate or alleviate you going into a hot tub? Come to find out, that's kind of what Matthew Perry Chandler? Matthew Perry was in a hot tub. He was on several medications for high blood pressure and anxiety and stuff. And basically, it just, shut him down, shut his body down. He had technically a heart attack or something of that effect, fell asleep, whatever the case may happen, and ended up drowning. So if you've got like high blood pressure or any of those other things that I listed before, you have to be really, really careful about getting in a hot tub because it can fuck up your innards. Your body's not going to know what to do because it goes into this high heat mode. And then, it's fight or flight or whatever, and you end up shitting yourself. And then you want to talk about a cesspool of diseases and stuff. Now you're dead in a hot tub. I've never heard of that. I know. Well, I'm just letting you know. You can look it up. I don't make a whole lot of shit up, but I do make some stuff up. Trying to get my cholesterol down. I know I'll get into the job interview here in just one sec because that's going to take a little bit. I want to get through these two things and then I'll wrap it up with the interview thing. In an effort to, I thought it was supposed to be lower your cholesterol. Let's switch cameras here. Excuse me. But I stumbled across, I'm always looking for something to help me out a little bit better in my life the older I get. I mentioned on, I forget what show I mentioned this on, but my neighbor's wife, her sister, and she's young. She's 40, 44, 45, 46, somewhere in that range there. Her sister died of a very invasive cancer. Found out that she has the gene too. She could get it as well. So they make, almost all their own food over there. They grow their own food. They rarely buy, they have to buy the necessities and stuff, but they turn around and make their own products. So they make their own bread. They make their own pasta based on the stuff that, they buy from the store. Because if you make it yourself, then you have more control of what goes into your body. I'm on the lines that I want to use what's out there now to help me fight whatever the doctor says I have. I got all my numbers back. We went through the numbers last week. Thank you, by the way, for everyone that says, yeah, this is good or that's, they gave me all the hoo-ah stuff. So I appreciate you guys over there on the Facebook page. But I will, if it's something, if I could just change one thing in my diet to help me live another 4 minutes longer, I don't know how long it's going to help me live, but I'll do it. And one of the things I've been doing now for almost 2 years, coming up on 2 years, is putting cayenne pepper in my drink. And when I say my drink, I have filtered water, the concentrated lemon juice, and cayenne pepper. And that's what I drink in the morning. All day long, and then 12 o'clock hits, and then these bad boys come out. It's a different program then. But one of the things that I found out is something called golden milk. Now, I don't know if you've heard about this before. It's supposed to reduce inflammatory. It's supposed to help you with your blood sugars. It's supposed to do all this other stuff. Unfortunately, I thought it was supposed to help with cholesterol, but come to find out, you're not supposed to have a whole lot of saturated fats when you have cholesterol. Now, we have a farm here, so we have a whole bunch of chickens, and the chickens lay eggs, and then it's nothing for me to eat, 2 or 3 hard-boiled eggs in the morning with my breakfast. But studies have shown that cholesterol doesn't do anything to you. It says big egg, right? No, go ahead and eat those. Those are good. Just don't eat the chicken skin that's got saturated fat in the chicken skin. All right, well, tomato, avocado, right? So I came across this thing called golden milk. And what it is, they say the best result is to use coconut milk. Because it's high in saturated fat, 23% high saturated fat. If you've ever had coconut milk, if I had a choice between regular milk and coconut milk, I might steer towards the coconut milk if I was going to make like a chocolate, like milk chocolate. Or chocolate milk or whatever like that. Because it is a little bit thicker. It is a little bit more dense. My wife goes, oh, get that coconut milk. I'd like to have that in my coffee now. I'm like, all right, whatever you want. So I bought a half gallon by Silk. And what you do is I only poured a half gallon into a pot. Or half of the half gallon into a saucepan. You ready for this? I'll probably put this at the end of the video, the thing to make golden milk. It's good. It tastes good to me. It needs a little bit more sweetness to it, so I need to fine tune it. But what it does is it helps a lot of stuff. Look it up. Golden milk. What are the benefits of drinking golden milk? You put turmeric in there. Everyone loves turmeric. And then God damn, what's his name? Oh, just like Mark Maron said. That's who I was thinking of. Mark Maron has a bit about turmeric. Just like when you put turmeric in it, once you put the turmeric in it, you have to put black pepper in there. Because it's supposed to activate it or something like that. Ginger, cinnamon, and honey. And then that's it. You put it in the pot, you bring it to a boil, let everything kind of congeal together. And because of the turmeric color, it'll get this yellow, golden, milky looking color. So I put it in a little container and stuff, and you could drink it hot, you could drink it cold. It usually lasts about 5 days. So I drank that a couple times. I usually drink it right before bed because it's one of those nighttime. It's got that cinnamon, that relaxing, almost like a tea or something like that. And then this morning I had coffee and I kind of use it as my creamer. And my wife's like, oh, doesn't that have pepper in it? I'm like, yeah, you don't taste the pepper. The flavors kind of hot tub themselves out. They kind of just cancel each other. You're dead. So I put some in my milk and it tastes like almost like a Christmas type drink. So I've been drinking the golden milk, which I think is pretty good. So I'm not going to drink it anymore though, because I'm trying to get the cholesterol down, and it's like 23% saturated fat. So, and I'll post the ingredients at the end of the show. I'll scroll them up there so you can see them. And I'm going to take a little break, and then I'm going to tell you what actually happened when I went to this interview and how I've just kind of go, am I that old? Am I that old? So stick around. I'll be right back. So I started telling you the story about my job. Someone called me back, actually wanted to hire me. When I say hired, they wanted to talk to me. And the name of the company, I'll tell you the name of the company. You can look them up if you want. It's Queen City Promotions. And I'm like, well, it sounds, I read everything, giving back to the community and setting up for events for profit and nonprofit organizations. And I've done stuff like that before for many years down in Orlando, one of the convention capitals of the world outside of Las Vegas. And Baltimore, surprisingly. And I said, well, I can do that. That's an easy job. That's, getting back on the bicycle type deal. And the only reason why I was looking for a job is because I was getting bored. I was getting bored here. I know. This is so exciting. No, I mean, this pays the bills and everything else pays the bills. But I was like, at the end of the day, I was like, idle hands. Idle hands. I need to do something a little bit more to keep my mind and keep myself occupied. So I said, look, hon, babe, do you mind if I go get a job? She's like, another one? I know. Don't worry about it. So they call me back. And here's the thing. With today's technology, I created my resume using ChatGPT. You can sit there and search how to do the perfect resume. And my situation is a little bit weird because my whole entire career, my work experience career has been divided up into two totally different aspects. Right out of high school, I started at Home Depot. A couple years at Home Depot, I started in radio. And then from there on, those two lifeline paths have crissed and crossed since 2000. I'm sorry, not 2000. Jesus Christ. Started at Home Depot after my sophomore year of college, so 96. I started in Home Depot. I'm sorry, take that back. Sorry. 94. I graduated from UCF in 96. 94 is when I started at Home Depot. Then I started in radio. And to do a resume, you can't, they say, don't go back further than 10 years. But when you're 51 years old, 10 years doesn't even touch half of the stuff that you've done already. So my resume goes back 30 years. And you're like, oh, Jesus Christ, how many jobs did you have? I didn't have a whole lot of jobs. In the warehouse industry or retail industry, I had maybe 5 jobs. 5 different companies that I worked for, whether it was a manager, supervisor, manager, supervisor, that type of stuff. And in radio, because you got to fill in the gaps. They don't want any gaps in your resume. Was the radio aspect of my life and career. So I would leave one, or while working one, I would do the other. And then when the retail or warehouse or wholesale would end, I always had a radio job right there behind it. And the radio job would last, year and a half, 2 years. I hate to use the term, fickle type company or fickle, what's the word I'm looking for? Industry. It's a very fickle industry. And so, you can get a job and you can work it 2 years and all of a sudden they're like going, you put your key fob on the door and it doesn't open. They're like, oh, by the way, your show's been canceled. Ah, damn it. And turn around, go back on the other life path that goes down the road. So I spent a good time creating my resume. I didn't care about spelling. I just like, I did this and this between this time and this time. All right. And then over here, I did this and this and this between this time and just, bing, 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 all the things. Told Chat GPT, fix this so it looks good. Man, did it do well. Man, it just, I'm like going, all right, I'm good to go. Now, it did take probably a good hour and a half for me to sit down and actually go back and think about what I did and what, this time frame and that time. So it took me a while to do that. And when it was all said and done, it was only on one sheet. It was nice and pretty. The skills that I can do and added skills and benefits and objective. What's your career objective? To make money. So I did all that and applied over there at the Queen City Promotions. And within 24 hours, I get a text message. We've received your thing. We would like to set up an interview with you on, and I think I did it on like a Thursday. We have a position, or not a position, we have a interview slot available on Monday. Would you like the 12:30 or the 2:30? Well, we'll get this out of the way. I'm not dragging this out. I'll take the 12:30. Great. And that was, I think, Friday I did that. Last Friday? No. Thursday. Sorry, take that back. Last Thursday, because today's Friday and I don't do it on the show. Saturday, I get a text message. Reminder, you've got an interview on Monday at 12:30. Hit C to confirm. Yes, C, confirm. Then I would get an email on Sunday afternoon. Don't forget, you got a blah, blah, blah. All right, got it. Okay, I'm going. I will be there. Mom will be there. Monday morning, I get a text again about an hour before. Now, I've set an alarm on my phone, so I remind myself, because I'm due the one show on Monday, this show right here in the middle. I do that on Monday morning. So I get a reminder at 10 o'clock. Hey, don't forget, you need to leave the house by 11:30. Because it's an hour drive to get there. And then as I'm driving there, hey, don't forget, today at 12:30, you've got to, I'm like, all right, got it. So the reason why I tell you all this and all the text messages and stuff, I show up. Boom, boom. I'll be right there. Jeff comes out. I found out his name later, but this is Jeff. Jeff comes out. Like I said, he's Spanish or Colombian, or he's not Puerto Rican. He's Latin. Light-skinned Latin. I don't know. Dark eyes, dark hazel eyes, brown hair. And he's got it in a ponytail. I know. Here we go. Like I said, he's probably 20. If you're watching me on the YouTube video here. And he's got it in the ponytail. He's got that where it's shaved around on the sides. He's got it in a ponytail. And it's in a sort of like a man bun. And I look at him, and you know how women, when they get frazzled, they pull their hair back. All this hair on the side, the little flyaways, don't go in the head into the ponytail. He had them all over his head. I go, all right, this is a good start. Nice hair, weirdo. And the suit that he was wearing was a cross between, and I say suit. I told you, I'm in my button-up shirt, my executive jeans, and my Bruno Mollies. I'm looking good. I'm looking dapper. Shaved twice that day. His suit was crossed between a caterer, waiter, and someone who's wearing a suit going to court for the first time, and it's a little big. You borrowed your brother's suit to go to court. It was a black jacket. Sleeves are a little long. You never want your sleeves to go past your first knuckle here. Sleeves were a little longer. His little fingers are sticking out the bottom. Purple, dark purple or burgundy type shirt, button up, black tie. Pants, they're supposed to snap. Listen to me giving advice. They're supposed to snap on your laces, not buckle or fold or bell out on your shoes. For all you youngins out there, they were buckled and they were all built out. So like I said, the pants were a little long. His jacket was a little too big. Shirt was fine. Hair was all fucked up. And he comes out and he's like, "Oh, hey, what's your name? I go, my name's Travis. Oh, you have an interview today? Yeah. What time? 12:30. And I'm there at like 10 after 12. He goes, okay, here's the clipboard. If you want to go ahead and sign in. So I look and it's like just me. I'm the only one there. I'm like going, I got to sign in for this? All right, no problem. Like when you go to a doctor's office, Travis Holmes, and then it says time. I go look at the time. I go, all right, it's 12:15. And I go, round? What's this last one? It says round. Oh, you're the first round, so just put 1. I go, okay. 1? How many rounds is this? Mike Tyson. So I put the clipboard. He goes, our system's down, and you can tell there's something else on his mind. And he's going, and granted, you know, I don't know what he does. I found out later, and I'll tell you what his position actually was. He hands me another clipboard. Hands me another clipboard like this one. And he goes, okay, can you just fill this form out here? Our systems are down. And I go, it's a clipboard. See, I have one. I go, your systems are down. He goes, did you happen to bring a paper, a hard copy of your resume? I'm like, no. I said, everything's online. Can't you print it out? No, our systems are down and all that stuff. I'm like going, in my mind, I'm like going, dude. Now, someone out there I know is going to say this. Well, you know, to be prepared, Trav, you need to have your hard copy. You need to have all this stuff. You need to have all these things when you go to an interview. Yeah. As you can see, I'm not putting a whole lot of, weight on this, on this job interview. I'm like, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. So I'm like, no, I don't have a hard copy. I spent a lot of time, filling it out. I figured you guys would print it out since you knew I was coming. Sorry, I'm sorry. And he's like, yeah, just fill it out. Now, you've seen movies where like the dad owns a company and the son, thinks he rules the company. Come to find out, Jeff owns the company. I found this out later after I left. And I'll tell you what happened when I left. Hold on. Don't go anywhere. So stick around. I'll be right back. So here I am looking at this clipboard. Now, I've worked for companies where part of my position, my duties, is to hire someone. If you have a resume and you come, I'm going to tell you by experience. If you have a resume and you come in, I'm like, I said, look, great, you got a resume? Perfect. Just fill out the top part of this, your name and address and phone number and contact information. I can fill everything else in if it's not filled in. But, I'll staple your resume to this, and you don't have to do anything with that. Great. Now, if you don't have a resume and you come in, you're like, do you have a resume? No. Did you send one online? No. All right. Then you're going to have to sit here and fill this out. Now, granted, most of the time when I was hiring for people, it was for labor stuff, order picker, selector, forklift driver, that type of stuff. So their resume isn't as extensive as mine is. So the guy goes, the kid, Jeff, goes, here, fill this out with your resume. And then he fill this out, all the jobs and stuff. And he's like, he looked at me and he kind of goes, and don't worry about the educational part. We don't really care about that. And I kind of go, oh, Jesus Christ, really? Really? All right. I said, I'm not filling this out. Well, sir, I'm sorry, our things are down and I said, look, man. I said, I spent a lot of time creating my resume. I don't think if I fill this paper sheet out, and everyone that's ever filled out an application, you know exactly what this thing looks like. There's barely any room for you to write anything. I said, if I fill this out, I don't think this is going to be a good representation of my work and my career of what I've done. I know everyone's going, Travis, it's a fucking promotion job for only 50 grand a year. 50 grand a year. 50 grand a year to some people is a lot of money. To me, no, not that much, but still, I'm just saying, give me a break. It was going to be a part-time job, if not a part-time job, a 38 an hour a week or 40-hour a week job that I could manage myself. I said, I don't think this is going to be a good representation of me. Well, sir, I don't know what to, our systems now. I said, look, man, I said, when your system comes back up, give me a call. We can set up another interview. I said, but I'm not going to sit here and, have a chance of maybe I said, I'm not going to waste my time. I said, I don't want to waste your time. I'm not going to waste my time. I put the pen on the clipboard, bink, put it back on the little countertop there where the receptionist was. He was the only one in the place, I guess. Bink. And call me when your system comes back up. All right? This is not a good representation of your company if the system is down. So, see you later. So then I walked back out. And I text my wife, on my way home. She's like, that didn't take long. And I gave her the whole story like I told you. So then I get online. I'm like, well, let's find out what's going on with this company. Got online. Found out, like I said, Jeff is the owner. I'm like, this guy? There's only 4 other employees. 3 girls and some other guy. And the other guy looks like a friggin', he's scamming them. White guy, hey, I'm going to do promotions for you. Ding, 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 ding. And then I get on their Facebook page. Take that back. Rewind. I searched them up on the Better Business Bureau. They've only been in business for like 2 years or something like that. I'm like going, God, is business that good that they can have a spot, an office space in this very prestigious, I say prestigious area of town of Charlotte? As you're driving, you're like going, watch out for that BMW. No, not that one, and that type neighborhood. And I'm like, oh, all right. That's 2 years. They're still young. They're still doing whatever. And then I look on their Facebook. Follow us on Facebook. So I click on their Facebook, 45 followers. 5 followers on this business. And I go, oh, for fuck's sake. Why didn't I look for this earlier? So then I go back to their website and I'm looking, it says careers. I'm like, oh shit. Cause I went through like Indeed, cause you trust them, right? I got on their website and I looked through Indeed. I know I should have done all this stuff before. I know. That's why it should be on Big Brother. And I look on there and it says careers, positions available. And there's like 6 of them. Event manager, a coordinator manager, sales representative, whatever I was, 50 grand. And like 4 other things. So I said, you know what, let me apply for one of the other ones. So I clicked on it, applied, sent the same resume and stuff. And I actually called them up. Hey, look. Actually, I was like, I'm doing this right here. Hey, man, I was here earlier today. You fuck. No, I didn't leave a message. The receptionist called me back or texted me back. Hey, sorry, I missed your call. I see that you called and so I said I just wanted to see if you got my resume. So we went back and forth. Yes, we got it, and she's texting me back. Her name's Olivia. Then she starts asking me all these different questions. And I'll turn everything over to the hiring manager. I'm like, well, what's the hiring manager's name? She wouldn't answer. Then she started asking me all these other questions, like, about work history and stuff like that. I said, wouldn't this be a better conversation to have with the hiring manager? What is the hiring manager's name? Then she's texting me back. Were you here on whatever day, Monday? I said, yeah. Yeah, it shows in my system. Uh-huh. She said that you walked out. I said, I didn't walk out. I said, your system was down. I was going to come back at a better time when it was okay. Well, we're having interviews this week. We'll let you know. Thank you for your interest. Motherfuckers. I said, okay, I'll be following up on this. Okay, have a great weekend. So, fucking pieces of shit. Is that what you guys have to go through? Like people out there like trying to get a normal 9-to-5 job? Are you dealing with that type of stuff? Probably not at this level, this small level of infancy that this company was, but still. It was just like, I came home, my wife's like going, what? I said, I'm so defeated. I'm so discouraged because where I live, and out in the middle of nowhere, I can't do this without driving 60 miles in another direction. I live in a small town of 2,500 people. And as far as radio jobs, there's one local radio station that's owned by the oligarchy of the friggin' Union County. So we will say and do what we please to do. That type of stuff. I tried to get a job with them. They're like going, no, you don't go to our church. That type deal. But it is the Carolinas, and that's where I'm at. All right, guys. On that note, I'm going to let you get back to doing whatever you got to do. Okay, see you, bye. See you guys. Take care.